Hello everyone, my name is Giselle, and if you've been on this channel semi-recently, you may know that I am watching One Piece at the moment, and I'm loving it! I recently did a gender-bending Straw Hats video, and a second part to that is coming soon, by the way. But because I'm loving One Piece so much, I decided to make a OC for the One Piece world. She started out as a self-insert, she was going to be a self-insert, but I think she's kind of become her own character, so I won't call her that. I think she's just an OC.
Design.
First things first, her design. Who is she? I decided I wanted to make a One Piece OC when I was at the Sky Island arc, like the very beginning of that, and we saw the Masada pirates. I just thought they were so funny. I like that, like, I'm sure there were people before that, but it felt like the first, like, major person who wasn't really trying to, like, conquer anything or trying to get the One Piece. Like, they just kind of all have their dreams. And at the end of Sky Island, I think they even said, like, great, we finished finding out that our ancestor wasn't lying, so now let's do someone else's dream, or something along the lines. Like, they're like, okay, what's next, you know what I mean? And I also like that they're, like, kind of monkeys. I've noticed this about One Piece. So there's obviously humans, there's fishmen, but there's this other third group of people, and they're like monkey men. And there's obviously Masada and his brother. There's the one that works under the Foxy Pirates, and then I think I've got a photo of like a background character one I spotted. And so I decided my OC is going to be one of these people, because I just think that's so cute. So yeah, my inspiration was kind of like if you think of like Paul Frank and like the kind of cutesy like Sanrio type monkeys. I'm not sure what kind of monkey should be in real life, and she is the chef for the Masada pirates. And she has a devil fruit, which I don't know if that's too like Mary Sue to give my OC a devil fruit, but they seem pretty common once we got out of Beast Blue, so I think it's fine. And her devil fruit is called the icing fruit. Also, I'm not finished One Piece, so if someone else has a fruit named that, I'll come up with something else. But she has the icing fruit, and I'll explain it in a moment. Here's her design. So cute.
Meet cute.
Okay, so like I said, she has the icing fruit, and the idea behind it is that she can disguise, like completely convincingly disguise any food item as another food item. And so that obviously has like a lot of potential. She could like poison people, she could do all kinds of crazy stuff. But how she is using it is that she's a chef for the Masada Pirates, like I said, and instead of learning how to cook, or cooking full, well-balanced meals, she is just using her fruit on piles and piles of bananas and serving it up to the crew. And so the crew gets scurvy, or I don't know if it would be scurvy, but they're obviously unwell because you can't live off bananas. And Sanji notices that, and so when the Straw Hats are meeting the Masada Pirates, and they're not going to Sky Island yet, but you know, they're with the Masada Pirates talking about Sky Island, you know the town I'm talking about. He notices that all of them are very skinny and scurvy-having and miserable, and so he hides in the kitchen to watch her cook, and then he sees her fruit, and he realizes what she's doing, and he confronts her, and then she tries to get out of it, and because she doesn't want to get in trouble, and then he says, no, you don't even care about being a chef, and it's like the whole anime thing where sparkles come up behind her and stuff, and then she feels really bad about it and also has a crush on him, and she's embarrassed, and so she learns how to cook and then hunts him down and finds him to prove to him she's not a horrible cook anymore. Also, you'll notice that I made the fake food, I guess, out of real stock images, and I made them look really like creepy and gross, but I don't think it's that obvious to people within the world. I just wanted to do that because I kind of wanted to show from an audience perspective that there's something like wrong with it, or that it's like not quite what it's meant to be, you know what I mean? I love Madoka Magica, and I love how the witches have collages, and that shows up sometimes. Anyways, all of this being said, okay, so I think this is gonna, my original plan was that that would all happen, and then she'd like find the Straw Hats and show them her cooking, and she'd stay in the Master of Pirates, but like then she'd have like some kind of like furthered plot with Sanji, depending on where One Piece takes his character. But I don't think it's gonna go that way anymore. I think this is just what gets her out of the nest. I think this is just what gets her out of the Master of Pirates boat and into her own little world, and I'll explain why now.
Sanji becomes the worst.
Sanji became a creep. No, I knew he was gonna become a creep. I knew that from the beginning. I knew Toei Animations like has something out for him and wants him dead. But I didn't think it would be that bad. I thought it would just be like the normal jokes he makes, but more often. I had seen the one little animation clip of him like doing like the dog thing and like barking and panting at a lady, and I thought that was a little over the top, but I didn't think it would be this crazy. I've just got post-time skip. I'm in Fishman Island, and he is so weird. Him getting nosebleeds and turning to stone and like suffering but because he can't look at a woman like a normal person is a genuine plot point. It genuinely like drives characters forwards and impacts the story. And I think previous to this, I'm trying to think of times that that's impacted the story, and there's two that really come to my head. And one was when he was fighting Bon Clay, and the other is when he was fighting, I forget her name, the girl from CP9, and she turned him to soap, and he had like the most miserable moment of anything I've ever seen from him, laying on the ground as soap. Those are the only two times it impacted him, and both times it happened, I literally like out loud said, wow, it's not funny anymore when it actually impacts the story like this. And I get the whole like I won't hit a woman thing, but it really pissed me off with CP9 because they were actively trying to save Robin, a woman, and they were like, no, I won't hurt a woman, even if it means this other woman dies, is executed. Uh-oh. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense to me. What was he doing on that island, on Transphobia Island? I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I love Bon Clay and I love Ivankov, but that felt really wrong. It felt really transphobic and evil. And so obviously I'm not loving the new Sanji, and I've decided that my OC won't love him either. I think she'll find him, she'll see what he's like, and she'll ditch that situation entirely. I don't think I'm gonna like make a romantic subplot with anyone else, because I think the other characters are just cool. And I'll continue that thought in a moment.
Running away with the cooler vampire guy.
Okay, my favorite character is Mihawk. If I was transported into One Piece and I could pick whose like body I would enter, who I would become, I would pick Mihawk. And I will say, it's a little bit weird that he's so strong and so powerful, and when we first saw him, he was hanging around in the East Blue, beating people up. I know he was chasing after someone that had a whole fleet, but that guy doesn't seem like very big potatoes. I don't think I've heard about him since. I think Mihawk was being a little bit lame, and now it's like, I think after that I saw him, what's it called? It's not Innie's Lobby. You know the one. You know the one. I saw him there with all the other warlords, and now I've seen him on his little island with Corona and Zoro. He doesn't do anything of value. He's so strong, he just farts around all day. But he does it in a really cool, fun way. He's so badass about it and mysterious. And so I would still want to be him, regardless. And so I've decided my OC at some point will bump into him. And this is super Mary Sue. Oh my gosh, I thought giving myself a devil fruit was Mary Sue. Which, she's not myself, but you know what I mean. Like giving my OC a devil fruit. Okay. For some reason, for whatever reason, they're gonna end up sailing about together. she's gonna cook him food, he's gonna beat up children, as he does. I want their dynamic to be similar to, like, the brief dynamic we see between him and Perona, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know where it's gonna go. I feel like I'm at a point in One Piece where it's like a lot of stuff's been laid before me. I'm right at like the end, I think, of the Fishman Island arc, and Shirahoshi just used the Sea Kings to stop the Noah from falling. And I have a lot of thoughts about this because it seems like it's very important. There's like, this boat's been waiting for ages, and of course the Noah is probably in reference to Noah's Ark, which makes me think of flooding, which makes me think about, why is the One Piece world so much water and so little land, and why is all of the land like islands, you know what I mean? So it makes me think that there's like some kind of big flood, and then the fact that Luffy like destroyed, or almost destroyed, this vessel that's supposed to, of course, save people, I guess, from the Great Flood. It kind of, in my head, maybe it's going to be a thing of like, he, through his acts of kindness, ends up creating a bigger evil. We see like Luffy's very quick to, when someone needs his help, he helps, and I feel like it might become the situation of like, there's some kind of big sacrifice where the rest of the world's decided like, we have to do this so that everyone can be safe. And like Luffy, out of his like desire to just help people, which he says he's not a hero, but he does always help people, he like messes that up in some way. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it does seem like there's like some kind of big end of world type event, and Luffy is gonna get in the way of people being saved from it, which I also think that could be linked to the Orca lady's prediction. I'm not sure though, that might be like closed out in Fishman Island, but who knows. Also, they just like, Caribou just spat up those girls and moved on. That is such a lame ending to that plot point. The whole time I was going, where on earth is Caribou? What's gonna happen with Caribou? And then he just spat them up, stole some gold and left? That's lame. Anyways, that's the drawing, that's the character, that's the video. Part 2 of the gender bends coming soon, because I think Jinbei's about to join the crew. Bye!